The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, on a peaceful farm nestled in the countryside, a mother duck waited patiently for her eggs to hatch. One by one, the eggs cracked open, and fluffy yellow ducklings emerged, full of life and energy. However, one egg took longer to hatch than the others. When it finally did, out popped a duckling unlike any the mother had ever seen. The new arrival was gray and awkward, with large feet and a long neck. Compared to his siblings, he looked ungainly and, in the eyes of the other barnyard animals, downright ugly. They whispered and laughed, teasing him for his appearance. This made the poor duckling feel terribly sad and out of place. As the days passed, the ugly duckling endured more hardship. His siblings shunned him, and even his own mother seemed unsure about him. Feeling utterly alone, he wandered away from the pond and into the wide world beyond the farm, hoping to find a place where he could belong. Through forests and fields he traveled, facing many challenges along the way. He encountered hunters who chased him, harsh weather that tested his strength, and other animals who mocked him for being different. Yet through it all, he persevered, driven by a yearning for acceptance and understanding. One day, as winter approached and the duckling felt more alone than ever, he stumbled upon a tranquil pond in the middle of a secluded grove. There, to his amazement, he saw a flock of graceful white swans gliding across the water. Mesmerized by their beauty and elegance, he approached cautiously, expecting to be ridiculed once again. But something incredible happened. As he gazed at his reflection in the water, he realized that he was no longer an awkward gray duckling. Instead, he saw a magnificent swan with sleek feathers and a slender neck, just like the others in the pond. In disbelief, he realized that he had grown into a swan, the most beautiful bird of all. The other swans welcomed him warmly, amazed by his arrival. They praised his beauty and elegance, and the ugly duckling finally felt a sense of belonging that he had longed for all his life. He spent his days swimming gracefully with his new friends, feeling happier and more content than ever before. As he looked back on his journey, the ugly duckling understood that his differences had not been a curse, but a blessing in disguise. They had led him to discover his true identity and find where he truly belonged. And so, the once ugly duckling lived happily ever after as a beautiful swan, forever cherished by those who had come to love him. With his newfound swan companions, the former ugly duckling explored the world with a fresh perspective. They flew over shimmering lakes and green meadows, their wings strong and hearts full of joy. The other animals they encountered marveled at their grace and beauty, and the once lonely duckling found himself surrounded by friends who valued him for who he truly was. One day, as they flew over the farm where he was born, the swan paused to look down at the pond where he had spent his early days. He saw his mother duck swimming serenely among her ducklings, and his heart swelled with gratitude for the care she had given him, despite his appearance. He wished he could show her how much he had grown and how happy he had become. The mother duck, recognizing her lost duckling from afar, quacked excitedly and gathered her ducklings around her. They rushed to the edge of the pond, their eyes wide with astonishment at the sight of the beautiful swan gliding down to meet them. The mother duck embraced her long-lost child with tears of joy, proud to see him thriving and surrounded by friends who cherished him. From that day on, the swan visited his old home often, sharing stories of his adventures with his family and friends. The other animals of the farm no longer saw him as the ugly duckling he once was, but as a symbol of hope and transformation. His journey from loneliness to acceptance inspired them all to look beyond appearances and appreciate the unique beauty within each creature. And so, the beautiful swan lived happily ever after, surrounded by love and admiration from everyone who knew him. His story spread far and wide, becoming a timeless tale of courage, perseverance, and the power of discovering one's true self.